Hello and welcome back. So when we ended last time, we had built the blood altar here and some spawners. Now, the end of that episode, I said I was going to create the sorting system, or at least the kind of collection area. And behind me, you can see that. And one of the nice things you can see is right there to my right, we have a stack and 22 blaze rods. So we're doing pretty good on blaze rods right now, which is really nice. So basically, to set this up, what I'm using hopper hawks down there. I've got 4 of them around the edges. Each of them has its own dedicated diluted mana pool with a loop of mana spreaders dispersing mana around the edge. So like here I've got a primary pool and it loops around. This side goes all the way around and stops in the back. This side loops around and stops over here on this side. So we'll kind of pop down there and take a look at that in a minute. But right now what I'm using is I use the first 16 or so of our blaze rods, which take quite a while to get because they don't drop them all the time, to create these ender chests. So I've got them all set up, actually 20. I'm good at math. 20 of them to set it up. So I got 4 down there, 1 up here. And each one of these barrels, or the original barrels I put down, are all gray. They've all got 2 upgrades for their expansion, their structural upgrades in them, so up through iron, and they've got a void upgrade in them. I wasn't even going to take a chance that something freakish happened here and items started splattering everywhere, because that'd be bad. I added these 3 after the fact. They have not been upgraded yet because I haven't had a chance to do that. What we're running into here is I've got all the witch drops, and I've got the blaze and the blaze. Now everything else, including anything that ends up here in this end chest, are a result of the amount of torching we've done in this area here. Because I've been running through any cave I find. If I see a pack of monsters, like those guys over there are kind of bugging me. I'm not sure where they are. I've been finding the cave and I've been just lighting it up all the way to the end, like just kind of spidering out through it. So what that does is it means that if we're up in the witchery area over there, or I'm playing around up on the surface, or whatever we're doing that's a ways away from this area, you can look down there, that entire area is spawnable. So what ends up happening, well, except for right there by the hoppers, since it's light's bleeding through, is critters are spawning in there. So every once in a while you'll get a creeper, every once in a while you'll get an enderman, and the ritual or the bungee sticks or both kills them. So we end up with a few extra drops in here. So like you can see, 5 endermen have met a very pointy, unfortunate demise down there. And we collect their stuff. I was thinking about putting an ender pearl thing here, but we're not getting enough of them. Like you can see, we're only getting a few hearts here and there. So I'm not really worried about that at the point right now. And then let's double check this. We are currently sitting at about 3/4 of our power, which is fantastic. And let's see, what else? We originally started with the blaze spawner directly underneath the center stone here. That did not work. Those spikes and this ritual do not count as a player, which was kind of a bummer to find out after the fact. So no blaze rods initially, which was kind of rough. So this thing was constructed. It's a standard 9x9 inside hole, blaze spawners in the middle, and I've got conveyor belts that push them across here, getting in from the sides into this little gap right here, and they land right here. And their drops just fall right into the world, which is within range of the hopper hawk that is sitting right here. So he will pick them up, and they will then get put into our system here and taken care of. You can see it's now gone. So you can kind of see here the hopper hawks spread around the edge there. If anything falls directly in the middle, they're not going to get it. But that seems to be happening so rarely, I'm not really concerned about it. And you can see the power distribution system here wrapping around the edge. And our little hydrangeas here. It doesn't take much to keep these things flowing, so these have been working really good. I seeded it initially with the power from 1 mana tablet, and that's been all it needed. I think I could probably shut these things off and this would run for a while. And then, let's see, eat some pork here. I did find out one interesting thing. This thing will eat spider eyes and rotten flesh and produce power. So that's kind of an interesting thing I'm kind of letting grind away in the back of the mind here to see if I come up with anything interesting to do with it. Let's see, we're going... Yeah, that's I think pretty much caught up. The only other thing was the Elementium armor. Can't remember if I said anything about that or not. Set bonus for this, you get a chance for pixies. I made it because I was curious to see if it was better than the other armor. So far, the armor value is the same. It seems to have a better enchantability on it, but the enchants I put on it, to me, they weren't fantastic. I was really hoping for some feather falling, and I got Last Stand, which I guess isn't bad. Some protections and unbreaking, so those are helpful as far as mana consumption, but overall not as good as I was hoping for. Eventually I'll have to get some books and the Bibliocraft Press and the Botania enchanting online. Let's see. Now the goal, what I want to do today, since we've rambled, well, I've rambled for a little bit here, I want to start working on this, because I want this to be a 3x3 minimum module area. It's more than likely going to stretch another module in that direction and that direction. We may move it up to a 5x5, I'm not sure yet. But the thing I'm kind of trying to wrap my mind around right now is these pillars. Our standard right now is to have these pillars in large rooms to kind of give it that converted mine look, where these are what's supporting the roof. So these beams and blocks will be going up, and they will be stretching across to the side here, where they kind of go into the walls. So that's the support of our roof. The other option would be to make a large dome in the ceiling and scatter this material through it, so it looks like that dome is holding the ceiling up. Basically, I'm trying to make it look like this isn't just a gap. Like, you look up there, you're like, what the heck is holding that massive chunk of rock up, other than, Minecraft magic. So that's kind of what I'm trying to accomplish with this. So my goal right now is to make more of this material, more of these, and then get these slats filled in the ceiling. As you can see, I'm missing a few here and here. And then get that done. And I don't remember if we covered it last time, but these are Livingwood planks. One piece of Livingwood gives you 4 planks, and then each plank with a wheat seed or a grass seed gives you this mossy living plank. And then that's the glimmering, which we've created before. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start creating some of this, get the rest of this done, give some thought to how I want to do this, and see if I can come up with a design that at least doesn't make me go ew, and we'll start from there, because it can always be modified later. And then I will be back. And we're back. So it's been a little while now. I've ripped up and put back things several times, and this is kind of what I've settled on so far. I've got nightshades around the pillars here with grass. I've got the mossy living wood running up with these glimmering ones in the middle of every path. Put our petal apothecary right here in the middle, and then I raised the ceiling up a little bit here. I'm not sure what I want to put in the middle there. I was thinking about dropping it back down and putting a carpenter's, like a pyramid or a spike right there, but I'm not quite sure yet. For the rest, this is what I'm doing. So basically what this is Livingwood steps, Livingwood, and then a carpenter's block right there in the middle with some glowstone in it. So if we go, I saved a couple of them here. This phantom bridge is fantastic for doing, or phantom platform, whatever it's called, is great for doing this. Phantom bridge, because it allows you to be up here, so I'm not constantly having to jump to reach these spots, which is great. So then what we're doing is going up one more and getting killed by gravel. That's great. And come on. More gravel. Ish. Oh, a lot of it. Okay. Gotta love gravel. Let's just put a torch up there. Now, back to what we were doing. Oops, not there. So all we're basically doing is the stairs are going around the edge, which, fairly standard pattern. I mean, it's nothing, oopsie, fantastic, especially when you do it right. But it actually, it kind of raises the ceiling up so it doesn't look completely flat, which is basically what I was going for. And then all we do is put a carpenter block here, shift-click a piece of glowstone into it, and smack a piece of living stone on it. So that's kind of what I'm doing for these. And it's not fantastic, like I was saying. I'm still not entirely sure what I want to do with the walls. That's kind of the part that has me kind of wondering. Because what I'm thinking here is the, let's turn that bridge off so we can get back to the ground, is the portal, the Alpine portal is going to be here at the end. I'm probably going to kind of angle this in a little bit and put the portal somewhere right around here. Now these nightshades are producing power at night. That's why I planted them down here, is they don't need direct sunlight. As long as it's night out, they will produce power, which is great. Don't really need much of it. I may actually, when I carve this out, like maybe put a pillar of water on each side, floor to ceiling, and put some hydrangeas in there and just use that. but not entirely sure how I want to set this up yet. But been kind of working through it just to see what I can come up with. I've got the trodden dirt here. Oh, that's right, I've only got it around here. I have to ring it around this area. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I've been doing is just trying to come up with some type of design that I can put around the edge here that doesn't just look completely out of place. I mean, normally what I would do in this type of situation would be just dig a cube in the wall, slap the portal down, put some flowers around it. Yeah, I'm done. But I've been trying to build these things a little more, I guess, pretty, so they don't just look like pure function. They've actually got some type of a little bit of form to them as well. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this. Well, whether or not it turns out in the end, we'll see. But this is kind of the general feel. I use the pasture seeds to grow this up so I can grow underground. And the pasture seeds, we made some of those before. It's basically just tossing a piece of grass into a mana pool with one of those alchemy stones under it. Gives you one of those, and as soon as you plant it, I mean, it's spread like all the way around to here. I think on most of these, it only left this little part that's slowly growing. The nightshades, I severely miscalculated the number that I needed, so I have 48 left. I made a stack and a half, so we'll have those to use. I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to get the rest of the ceilings done, maybe get the little spike or something in up there, and start roughing this area out. Once I get to that point, I'll be back and we'll take a look at what we're doing and see where we go from there. Alright, welcome back. Looks like I forgot a piece of living stone there. Alright, so this is kind of what I'm currently leaning towards. It's not exactly like I would want it. I would have liked to have had this back a little farther and feather this in a little more, but I couldn't come up with a way to move this pillar that didn't look like I just moved it, not like it was supposed to be there. So this is kind of what I'm currently leaning towards with the setup for the Elfine portal. So this would go here and here, and that should pretty much be it. Then we would just tack a spark there and a spark there, so we can pull power into them if necessary, and that's pretty much it for the portal. Now, I was thinking about filling in behind it and actually putting like emeralds or something behind it so that even when it's off, it's still green. Actually, let's take a look and see what that looks like. Gonna pop back up here. I think I've got enough emerald blocks for that. Actually, I probably had enough emeralds down there for that, but we'll see. So we need 9. And we're gonna need one of those. Okay. It might be too bright green. I don't know. We'll see. So if we put those there. Oh no. So it's a fairly dark shade. So this might work. I mean, it's obviously not fantastic, but you know, what you gonna do? So let's see. Because the idea being is what I'm looking for. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with the walls yet. Is the entrance is going to be from here. So you're going to come walking in this direction. And this is how things are going to look. Well, let's do there. So this is kind of how you're going to walk into it right now. And so you get your petal apothecary here. I couldn't think of what to do with the well, so it's just kind of sitting there. I may sink it in the ground somewhere. I'm not entirely sure yet. And then we've got our portal. So that's kind of how it's sitting. I'm going to fill that in there. I'll need to finish off this pillar so it looks like it's supposed to be there. I haven't decided what I want to put up there. I'll probably maybe go for some of the mossy living planks. Actually, let's try that right now. Let's see what that looks like. Let's just grab 8. So if we were to put that, I mean, it squares it off, and it normally wouldn't be square, but I think it might be something we're going to go with anyways. And then maybe need something in here. I wonder if we can saw those. If we can make those into micro blocks. Because that could look interesting. Go grab our saw here real quick. Just test that out. Because my goal was to make it so it wasn't just kind of, the whole room wasn't flat. But I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to be able to accomplish. I'm hoping to make up for some of it with the walls. because I want to inset, kind of like I was doing for the ceiling here. Just, you know, push a little bit of it back so it gives the room a little bit of depth when you're walking through here, because the way it's glowing to me it looks like, when you look off, it looks like there should be a skylight there. That was my first thought, was to punch this straight up to daylight, but I want to go vampire in the next probably 2 or 3 episodes, so, or at least start that process. So sunlight would be a bad thing to have around here. Let's see if we can chop one of these up. It would have been too easy. Alright, I think this is going to require some more thought. Let me get this started and see what I come up with, and I'll be back. Alright, and we're back. So it's been probably a couple hours since the last cut. And aside from the walls, which I'm still not sure on, so I may kind of let those stew for a while until I can decide how I want to handle them, I'm kind of looking at this room and seeing it's done. The only thing I don't have done yet, which I just remembered, is the runic altar. So I need to find a way to kind of fit it right here, because this is pretty much where I want it. So I guess we'll kind of go through this. The nightshades, they were here before. I got our agglomeration plate in place, and I've got 4 pools around it feeding in through sparks. Now, what I've done here is underneath each one of these pillars is a mana spreader. And the 4 closest to me feed into a pool directly below. So we'll pop down and take a look at that. So what they do is they feed into this pool. This recessive spark then feeds up into these pools. So as the nightshades slowly generate power over time, these pools will all start filling up. Now I've done the same thing over here with these nightshades, but I've also put 8 hydrangeas down below. And the mana tablet for that one is right below me here. So every once in a while you'll see it you'll see the recessive gene on the spark pop up. But we've got our portal here. It is active. I don't have it turned on right now because I don't have a need for it and I didn't want to burn the power up. So I put the little emerald blocks behind it like before. And oddly enough, the part that took me the longest was getting these dumb little wedges here in the corner, because I completely forgot how to use the carpenter's blocks for a while. I was trying to use the hammer to cycle these things through, and that was horrible. And finally it dawned on me, and I remembered I can hold shift when I've got one of the carpenter's blocks in my hand and roll my mouse wheel and shift it to the ones I needed, so I was able to get those in place. So I've got all this set up. I've got my agglomeration plate, I've got my apothecary, and I did put a little I think it's like a carpenter's wedge slope. Well, it's a wedge slope, but I think it's in like a cone shape with a piece of living wood on it. So it kind of gives a little accent up there. Now what I want to do right now is this. I want to make some Terra steel. I made a piece a few minutes ago, and I don't know if we have enough power to make what we want to do here. Let's find out. But, I mean, watch how fast this goes. It's crazy with 4 pools fueling it. They just cruise. So we're going to get that. Do we have enough power? Oh, I think the answer is going to be no. That's sad. Let's see if we've got enough over here. I got 2 full tablets. If we can charge up at least 2 of them, we might be able to get enough. So let's let those flow in there. Oops. See how they're doing here. Once they get up to half, what I want to do is I want to get 4 pieces of Terra steel. That's my goal right now. I don't know if we're going to have enough power to do it. I haven't brought the power down from the surface yet. I also want to have it set up so a mana spreader brings the power down to... I'm probably going to have it go to this area right here, and I'm probably going to have these pools also fuel the runic altar as well, because there's really no reason to just have them sitting here, because you're not going to be making Terra steel all that often, but it looks kind of neat to have 2 pools on it. And you're empty, which means you're empty. So I got enough to make maybe 2 more. Let's find out. So 1, 1, 1, and we'll let it run through. Let's see how it goes here. I just like how fast it goes when those pools were full. It was crazy. And come on. Okay, so that's, and ooh, a little under a quarter. Let's do this. Give me that back. Okay, that might be enough. That might be enough because I got one piece in a box over there. I missed. Got it that time. Alright. So what we're doing here is we got 2 running there. Then we're going to need that one and those. I'm going to get that thing off of there. And perfect. Now this halo, now that I've got it, I've just been abusing it to no end here. Because it's fantastic to have this thing. So what we're going to do is we're making a Terra Shatterer, which is that. Now it's a D rank right now, so it's pretty much as useless as you can get. It's a normal pick. So, I mean, it's not, you can see it's not great. But as we slowly charge this thing up over time, it will get better. So that's going to be the thing I'm going to kind of work on over time, is getting that charged up, because I'm kind of curious how it goes. But for now, we're going to put that away. And let's see. We've got this pretty much done. I'm probably going to, what I was thinking about doing for those is kind of rounding them, or in some way connecting them to the wall, and then putting a little bit of an edge on that right there, cutting that out, and just leaving that as an open balcony, and kind of leave it like that and see how it goes. But I think that's how we're going to leave it. I've got to get this stuff taken care of. I'll get these probably moved off camera once I decide where I want to put them. The pools upstairs need to all be drained down. I've got probably 3.5 full mana pools worth of power up there that I want to get down into these. So that, again, that'll also be done off camera, because it's going to be a lot of lining up, digging, and trying to figure out how I want to do it. I think I'm going to use an elf plate a elven mana spreader. But let's take a look here. Mana, no, I don't think it's manipulation. Yeah, lenses, okay. What we want. Warp lens. Oh, is it only the warp lens? Is that all it is? What are the other lenses? Lens clip. Am I looking right by it? Because I can't remember what it's called, but one of the lenses you can put on a mana spreader allows it to go through a block. I think it reduces the range, but it'll pass through a block. So if I can get a spreader right above that thing right there, right above that carpenter's block, I can have it fire down through, go through this plate, and hit the recessive mana pool below, which would then spread it out to all of these. That would bring it down from our little solar field upstairs and kind of mix it in here. It also allows me to transfer the power down. So that's going to be one of those things I do. If I do go the mana lens route, I will record that so we can see how to make one of those, because we haven't made any of those before. But other than that, I don't know what the running length on this. It might end up being a little bit of a short episode. Unfortunately, it was a lot of jump cuts this time without a lot of real to-do and show type stuff, because I mean, I did make the nightshades, but that's a standard flower. We've made those before. It's just 2 blacks, a dark gray, and a purple, and a seed. So I did that 96 times, not really realizing I didn't need it, but got that done. We've already made pretty much everything in here, so nothing was really new. The carpenter's blocks I don't think I showed how to make, but they're a fairly straightforward recipe, and we haven't really done much with those in the past, so eventually we'll probably start doing more, but I've been trying to hold off on using them because they do cause a bit of a frame rate draw as you use more of them. But I think with this we're going to end it here, and we will pick up next time. And I think with this being done, once I get those 2 things set up, so I get the power down from here, and maybe, I don't know if I need it right now, but I might get a spreader going to that. But I'm going to pretty much call this area done, which means I want to start on Thaumcraft. I want to get to the point where we can make golems. Specifically, I want a lumberjack golem, one of the chopper golems, so I can get a tree farm going, and just in case we need it, and maybe a harvester, things like that. So that's kind of going to be a shortish or long-term shortish goal. In the next 2 or 3 episodes, I kind of want to get to that point, but we may see how long it takes. But so we will probably end up starting Thaumcraft next episode, depending. I need to look at my little to-do list and see what we've got left. I've also got a lot of digging to do around here. But otherwise, I will see you next time, and thank you for watching.